Friday night volleyball is right around the corner, and tonight we're treated to a juicy conference matchup between the Cougars of Concordia University and the Raiders of the Milwaukee School of Engineering. Happy Friday night, everyone. I'm Sam Brief, pleased to be with you for tonight's contest between the Cougs and the Raiders, alongside my producers Alex Krinigan and Neil O'Donnell and camera technician Ryan McGee. So happy to have you along for the ride for this NACC showdown. And tonight, two teams that got off a little bit of a schneid within the last week. On one side, Concordia, who was on a six-match losing streak where they lost 6 in a row, all 3-0, but then bounced back very strong with a big-time win last weekend against Alverno. They got 6 days off to get healthy. And right now, the Cougars come into tonight's matchup with a 7-12 record, 1-2 in conference play. On the flip side, MSOE, the Milwaukee School of Engineering, kind of a similar situation for what happened with them. They snapped a 4-match skid with back-to-back 3-0 wins over the weekend against Mount Mary and Rockford. And tonight, the Raiders from Milwaukee are without their head coach, Tom Wood, whose wife gave birth to their second child, a baby girl named Callie Wood. And Tom is missing his second consecutive match, of course, to be with his family. And we wish our sincerest congratulations to the Wood family on the birth of their baby girl. And in his stead, it's Darren LaBelle, who you can see kind of near the top left corner of your screen. He is the assistant coach for the Raiders, and he'll be acting as head coach for the second consecutive night, as the Raiders look to win their third match in a row, and Concordia looks to make it 2 straight. So opposite Darren LaBelle, who's in his second season with the MSOE program, it's Troy Campbell, who's in his 6th season with the Concordia Cougars. Campbell, one of the legendary coaches in Indiana high school history, comes in with 19 years of coaching experience before even coming to Concordia. And he actually won 6 consecutive state titles from 2004 to 2009 as the head man for Marquette Catholic High School over in Michigan City, Indiana. So it's Troy Campbell's team against Darren LaBelle's team tonight. Caught up with Coach LaBelle before the game. He recognized, right now he's got the best winning percentage in the NCAA. He's 1-0. He's been an assistant coach now for 2 years, but a head coach for just 1 match, and his team won 3-0 with a win over Rockford on Wednesday. So tonight, the Cougars against the Raiders, 2 7-win teams, and the Cougars looking to make it a clean 2-2 in NACC play. Let's set up series history for you, and since 2000, this has been a series owned by the Cougars. They are 13-6 against MSOE, and last year was a night in Milwaukee that Troy Campbell said, you know what, the stars aligned. It was a dominant 3-0 win for Concordia last year with 18 service aces. Now, this is a program that really relies on the serve. Part of Coach Campbell's philosophy, and you see him in the upper right corner preaching to his team. I'm sure that's one of the parts of it, reminding them what they did last year. 18 service aces compared to just 1 for Milwaukee last year in that 3-0 clean sweep win, in which he said the stars just aligned. And tonight, Concordia will rely on its stars once again. Shannon Stamp led the way with 8 service aces that night in Milwaukee, and spearheading the Cougars alongside Stamp, Alyssa Henline, and Jaylen Johnson, some of the top attackers in the conference, going up against MSOE, who are keyed by Quinn Borchert and Chloe Wallach, their top 2 attackers. So it's the Cougars against the Raiders right around the corner. Last year, Concordia dominated. This year here in Chicago at Geiseman Gymnasium. Let's see what the narrative is. We're going to take a quick break for the national anthem. On the other side, Friday night volleyball right here on the Cougar Sports Network.
Let's meet tonight's starting lineups for the visitors of MSOE.
Hey everyone, welcome back to Geiseman Gymnasium. Sam Brief alongside you for some Friday night volleyball between the Concordia Chicago Cougars and the Milwaukee School of Engineering Raiders. Let's now meet the starting lineups for these two sides. You see on the left side of your screen, those are the Raiders in red, the more bright red, and in the maroon and yellow, as per usual, is Concordia. So here's the starting lineup for Coach Darren LaBelle's Raiders. Chloe Wallach, Allie Laurent, Quinn Borchert, Miriam Ward, Grace Brock, Talia Fields, and Becca Smith is the libero. That's the starting lineup for the Milwaukee School of Engineering. And on the right side, you see the Concordia Cougars. Their libero is Julia Beers. They've got Kelly Guti starting as a setter, Alexa Lomentini, Alyssa Henline, Shannon Stamp, Jaylen Johnson, the fantastic outside hitter, and Julia Spitelli. That's the starting lineup for head coach Troy Campbell, His starting six looks just like that tonight. It's a Cougar team coming in 7-12 with a 1-2 conference record. And on the flip side, you've got MSOE 7-11 with a 2-1 conference mark. You see the teams meeting there at the net, ready for this Friday night showdown here at Geiseman Gymnasium. Our officials tonight, Don Avocati, Mary Malpede, Philip Coughlin, and William Mark leading the charge from the NACC in a Friday night showdown. Concordia back in action for the first time in 6 days, fresh off a win over Alverno, in which they snapped a skid that lasted 6 matches. So both teams look to stay hot. MSOE, they've won 2 in a row. Concordia, fresh off a dominant win. And let's see what we can cook up tonight here in beautiful Geiseman Gymnasium on the campus of Concordia University. Sam Brief with you. Hope you've got a great weekend in store, and we'll try to start it off with a bang with some Friday night volleyball. It's showtime. On one side, you've got MSOE, a very young team, only 3 upperclassmen up and down their roster, whereas for Concordia, you've got a little more experience. Jaylen Johnson, a senior, number 17, one of the best outside hitters in the conference. Shannon Stamp, number 15, spectacular middle blocker who was first team all-conference last year. And we're underway with MSOE serving. It's Miriam Ward who sends it from left to right. The Cougars and the Raiders here on CSN. On the left side now, here's Concordia. Flipping it over, Grace Brock. Right now, there's the libero in yellow, Julia Beers. Over to Spitelli, and her attack goes long. The first point to MSOE, and the Raiders have taken a 1-0 lead. The 2 liberos you see on one side, it's Julia Beers in the yellow jersey. And that point goes to Concordia. The nice kill. Tie it up at 1 apiece. Troy Campbell going with a different alignment for this game, a 5-1 combo, which means you've got just one setter that you're relying on. And tonight, it's number 3, Kelly Guti. This rally right now, there's Guti setting over to Spitelli, and she gets it across. Point Concordia. And the Cougs have won 2 in a row. So normally throughout the season, Coach Campbell's gone with a 6-2 setup, using 2 setters. Usually it's been Guti and Sam Hauser. But he said that just hadn't been working, as you see the Cougars pick up another point to make it 3-1. Concordia was towards the bottom of the conference in assists, and he felt they were getting outplayed in that category by pretty much every opponent. So flipping it to the 5-1, and we'll see if Guti is up to the task. Point over to the Raiders. 3-2 now the score. Coach Campbell said he's got the utmost confidence in his junior setter out of Edmonds, Washington. He said, "We're ready. I know Kelly's ready." They've employed the 5-1 for singular games, but this is the first time this year they're going with it for an entire match. So the score 3-2 right now, and back serving for MSOE, Amanda Yackley, the freshman setter out of Kenosha, sends it left to right. Beers digs it. There's the set. Spitelli blocked at the net, and Concordia keeps it alive. Now Jaylen Johnson, the fantastic senior, sends it to the left. MSOE caught out of system for a moment, but Chloe Wallach finishes it strong, slamming the ball down. How about Chloe Wallach this season, the 5'8 freshman, outside hitter out of Kenosha. She has been a bright spot for the Raiders, who have knotted it up at 3 apiece here in the first set, just underway. Jaylen Johnson, a powerful attack, but fielded cleanly by the Raiders. Back to Johnson. Nice dig by the libero, Becca Smith. Now it's Spitelli. She's blocked, but Johnson keeps it alive. Spitelli back to the right, and the Raiders holding strong. Wallach. And this one lost in the crowd. Jaylen Johnson gets the point for Concordia. What a rally there. About 45 seconds. And now a sub for the Cougars. It's number 27, Tori Steele, the New York native. Another look at this one. A wild rally, and Jaylen Johnson with a nice little touch to get the point. And on the other side now, here's Brock, the overhand delivery, but the point for Concordia. She was out. And now 5-3. The libero, Becca Smith, on for MSOE. She's in the white jersey on the left side. Smith, an Alaska native out of Chugiak, Alaska. And how about Tori Steele, the southpaw, rising high and getting it done. The Kentucky native with a point for Concordia, who's doubled up MSOE so far. Guti on the serve. Spitelli with the block. Point Concordia. Julia Spitelli, Schaumburg native. She's a junior. Just hit 600 kills for her career, but doing it now on the defensive end. And Concordia up by 4. Smith fields the serve. And Brock, that one went off the side of her hand. Point Concordia. That's Megan Brock, wearing number 7 in the red jersey for the Raiders. One of 2 Brocks up and down this roster. Grace and Megan, the Brock sisters. And how about that serve from Kelly Guti? Timeout. MSOE, and it's a 9-3 lead for Concordia. What a dominant start on the ace by Kelly Guti. That's her 19th ace on the season, ranking 3rd on the team. And this is a team for Concordia that prides itself on those aces. They're tied for 1st in the NACC in service aces, and that's something that Troy Campbell in his 6th season has continued to make an emphasis. He believes it all starts and ends with the serve. And if you go back to last year and the last time these two programs got together, it was all about the serve. A 3-0 clean sweep win for the Cougars, in which they notched 18 service aces compared to just 1 for MSOE. So he believes in serving aggressively, and the ace-to-error ratio they've got going this year here in Chicago, among the best that Coach Campbell's had in his career. And now here's his setter, Kelly Guti, the Pacific Northwest native, trying for another gem, and she's got it! Another ace for Guti. It's 10-3 Concordia. This time into the net. MSOE with a much-needed break, and now the fantastic freshman Chloe Wallach, wearing the number 1 jersey, goes back to serve. Wallach has been an immense bright spot for MSOE this year. She's earned quite a nickname as the Raiders pick up a point. Her nickname is Clutch, not an adjective, but as a noun. They just call her Clutch. Their head coach, Tom Wood, said, anytime we need a win, we go to Chloe. She's just 18 years old. Back-to-back points for the Raiders. At this time last year, Wallach was playing high school ball in Kenosha. And now the 5'8 freshman ranked second on the team in kills. She sends that one a bit too far. Point to Concordia, and a sub here as Courtney Luciano comes into the game, replacing Julia Spitelli. But Chloe Wallach for MSOE has been so clutch that that's her nickname. He said after one match where some late heroics from Chloe gave him the win. Assistant coach Darren LaBelle, who's acting as the head coach tonight, turned to Tom Wood and said, did she just do that again? Let's just call her Clutch. And the nickname stuck. Wood called her a super blessing for the team. And a point for Concordia. Aggressive hit on the outside from Alyssa Henline. And this Concordia program knows a thing or two about fantastic freshmen. Henline's one of them. You saw number 9 rising high and getting it done. Now it's the libero back to serve. Beers sends it to her libero counterpart. Messy action at the net, and Concordia comes out on top. A 13-7 lead now. So Chloe Wallach on one side, outside hitter freshman, getting it done for MSOE. On the other side, Alyssa Henline, the Fort Wayne, Indiana native outside hitter for Troy Campbell's Cougars, has been superb. And this point goes to the Raiders. Henline not only gets it done with the kills, but also ranks first in the NACC with 35 aces on the year. And she also leads the team in digs with nearly 200. She really does it all. Alyssa Henline on the outside, but now it's Shannon Stamp sending it to the left. The Raiders on the response, and rising high, Atalia Fields slams it home. The Osceola, Indiana native makes it 13-9, Concordia. Out on front here in the first set on a beautiful Friday night. Allie Laurent on the serve. The other way now, the lefty Steele pokes it through. The Raiders respond. Fields touches it across. Stamp. Nice save by Wallach. And into the net this time off of Miriam Ward's right hand. The point goes to Concordia. 14-9 now. A lot of energy so far from the Cougars, who hold a 5-point lead here in set number 1. That one goes into the net. Bad touch by Becca Smith, and now 15-9 the lead for the Cougars. We're here at Geiseman Gymnasium on a wonderful Friday here in Chicago. Hope you're doing well, everyone. Sam Brief alongside you as Shannon Stamp powers that one home. And the Cougars up 16-9, and they've got the serve with their setter, Kelly Guti, who's looked sharp tonight, leading the charge in the 5-1 set. She sends it to the libero, Smith. On the outside now, Grace Brock, the other Brock sister, as promised. Here's Grace on the outside. Point for Concordia. That one went a bit too far out to the right. And now an 8-point lead here in set number 1. It's Kelly Guti, who came in ranking 8th in the NACC in the assist category. Sends it to the left. Nice little touch by Atalia Fields that time. And now it's Wallach trying to power it home, but the response from Concordia. The freshman Henline with a nice kill on the outside, but instead mopping it up, it's Allie Laurent, and Concordia still comes out on top. Doubling up the Raiders, 18-9. Trying to make it a 10-point lead. And Kelly Guti in search of her third ace of this opening set. Not going to get it that time. Allie Laurent touches it over to Ward. And how about the block from Shannon Stamp? The 6'2 junior, proving to be stout up front. A fantastic middle blocker. And you saw in the huddle there, Troy Campbell, the 6th-year head coach for Concordia, giving her a pat on the back. Those two have built up quite the relationship because, like Shannon, who's a middle blocker, Troy was a middle blocker back in his playing days. So he said he loves to chat with her about the position and talk strategy. Here's the last point, which Concordia took the 19-9 lead on. And Shannon Stamp, in her 3rd season with this program, an Iowa City native. And Coach Campbell says, you know, she's just intuitive. She moves well. And last year, she was the best middle blocker in the conference, 1st team all-conference. Her team up by 10 here in the 1st set. Guti on the serve to the left. Just sneaks it inside the line. The 3rd ace for Concordia. Make it 20 here in the 1st set. This is Alexa Lomentini on the serve now. And that one blocked. A point to the Raiders and the score 20-10. Back to serve now, it's Italia Fields. That one dug out by Beers. Here's Henline from the outside, powering it home, Alyssa Henline. Campbell says he hasn't seen domination from a freshman like this. Talking about Alyssa Henline. As the junior, Julia Spitelli checks in. Now back for the serve, Henline, who leads the conference in aces, and she continues her assault with a beautiful pinpoint serve into the back right corner. 22-10 Concordia. It's all Cougs right now here at Geiseman. Henline, the Fort Wayne native, sends it back again. This time dug out by Wallach. Wallach for the kill. She's not going to get it done as Henline digs it out. Spitelli blocked at the net, but Julia keeps it alive. Nice little touch from Julia Beers now, who sets it to Guti. On the outside, Spitelli sneaks it past the defense. A 13-point lead right now for Concordia. And now Henline back for the serve once again. 5'9" freshman, couple bounces, slaps it across the net. To the left. That ball touched the net, point Concordia. 24-10. And the Cougars just absolutely dominating right now. And Henline will look to close out the 1st set. On the outside, Brock gets it in. Just sneaks it past Shannon Stamp. And MSOE stays alive. Now Quinn Borchert into the game. The sophomore middle blocker for MSOE. And here's Spitelli from the outside, blocked by Borchert. Borchert, who usually wears number 9, sporting a lucky number 4 today. Lake Mills, Wisconsin native with a block and 2 points in a row now for MSOE. Ward on the serve. Here's Stamp outside for Concordia. Ball gets lost at the net. Point for the Cougars and the set for the Cougars. A dominant 1st set for Concordia. And the Cougars win the 1st set 25-12. In typical fashion, service aces, part of what got it done. 5 in total between Kelly Guti and Alyssa Henline. We'll take a break here on the Cougar Sports Network. 25-12, set number 1 to Concordia. They're up 1-0. We'll be back in a moment with the 2nd set from Geiseman. Hey everyone, back at it from Geiseman Gymnasium. Sam Brief here with our fantastic CSN crew, Ryan McGee, Alex Crinigan, Neil O'Donnell, camera technicians and producers alongside with me, perched atop Geiseman Gymnasium, where the Cougars have a resounding 1-0 lead over the MSOE Raiders. 25-12 in a first set that lasted just 20 minutes. 5 service aces in that set, and that's how Troy Campbell likes it. The sixth-year head coach for Concordia likes an aggressive serving team. Last year against MSOE in a match in Milwaukee that he said just saw all the stars align, they had 18 service aces. So far 5 tonight, and a 1-0 lead through one set. Alyssa Henline notched 2 of those aces in the first set, and she'll lead things off from the service line. Going from left to right now, Henline a few bounces, and we're off and running in the second set. Barely saved by the Raiders that time. Stamp on the outside, powerful, but a little too powerful. Point for MSOE, and the Raiders have taken a 1-0 lead. So if you look on the Raiders sideline, right now you got to look at Chloe Wallach on the service. On the Raiders sideline, their coach tonight, not the usual man roaming the sidelines. Usually they've got Tom Wood. As this wild one goes to MSOE. Tom Wood, his 5th season as the head coach for the Raiders, missing his 2nd consecutive match on paternity leave after the birth of his baby girl, Callie. The second kid for Mr. and Mrs. Wood, whose Raiders have jumped out to a resounding 3-0 lead here in the second set. Chloe Wallach on the serve. So in Wood's absence, Darren LaBelle, the assistant coach in his 2nd season in Milwaukee, is leading the charge. His girls keep it alive right at the net. But that one lost off the hand of Becca Smith, and Concordia picks up its first point of this second set. So Darren LaBelle, his 2nd season as an assistant, but he had never been a head coach until right now in his 2nd match as a head coach, and he's got a perfect record. 1-0 after a big win Wednesday at Rockford, and he wasn't shy about saying before this match, hey, I've got the best winning percentage in the NCAA right now. 1-0. That's a 1,000 winning percentage. And how about that beautifully pinpointed kill by Julia Spitelli? Big number 2-0 from the middle gets it done. And now Concordia within 1. The Cougars send Shannon Stamp back for the serve. Dug out by Wallach. From the outside, it's Fields, who's blocked up front by Spitelli. Concordia has notched it up at 3 apiece. So Darren LaBelle, tonight's head coach for MSOE. He's coached before at both the beach and indoor levels, but mostly his background is in beach volleyball. And Tom Wood told me that helps him with coaching the fundamentals, because in beach volleyball there's even more of an emphasis on the fundamentals. So whereas Coach Wood is more big picture, you've got Darren LaBelle focusing on the nitty-gritty, on the fundamentals. Coaching his team to a 1-0 record as a head coach so far. But another added little perk to that is Spitelli blocks it to make it 5 straight points for Concordia. A perk to being the head coach while not really being the head coach is any sort of yellow card or ejection would go on Coach Wood's record, not Coach LaBelle. So he said, maybe I'll just get ejected from this match and it won't even go on my record. Nice play there up front by Quinn Borchert, who checks out now for Miriam Ward. And it's a 5-4 lead for Concordia. Back to serve. It's the libero Becca Smith in the white uniform. The Chugiak, Alaska native sends it from right to left. Spitelli on the outside, powers it home. Julia Spitelli fresh off, reaching her 600th career kill. Makes it a tad over 600. 6'4" Concordia, as she's now joined up front by Jaylen Johnson. Fields blocked. That's Spatelli and Steele up front. Getting it done for the Cougars. 3-point lead now. Guti, the setter, will serve. Wallach blocked. But that ball falls at the feet of Tori Steele, and the point goes to the Raiders. So I mentioned Becca Smith, the libero wearing the white uniform for MSOE. She's a sophomore out of Chugiak, Alaska. That's in Anchorage. As Concordia picks up a point. Chugiak was first an unincorporated village, but then in the mid-'70s merged with the city of Anchorage, one of the biggest cities in Alaska. Not often you see someone playing out here who hails from the state of Alaska, but that's Becca Smith. What a dig there by Guti. Wow. Point for Concordia. Kelly Guti. Also a Pacific Northwest native out of Edmonds, Washington, laying out and getting the point for her Cougars. Back to serve. It's Luciano. On the attack, Brock. Dug out by Beers. Johnson saves this one in front of the net near the scorer's table. Henline was outside of the antenna, and the point goes to the Raiders. So Chugiak, Alaska, the hometown of Becca Smith. Just 8,300 residents. And a point for Concordia. 10-6 the score now. Concordia on top. Julia Beers back to serve. Indiana native. A bit too strong. And the point to MSOE. Concordia just breaking a 6-match skid with a win last weekend against Alverno. And this one tightening up a bit, 10-8 now the score. It was a match where just about everything went right. Saturday at Alverno, but the Cougars happy to be back home and protect their home court. Tori Steele comes up empty on the outside, and now MSOE within one. Concordia stepped up the schedule this year. The non-conference slate a bit tougher. Sort of the old moniker, if you want to be the best, you got to beat the best. And that's what Troy Campbell is bringing near to River Forest in his 6th season. The Cougars have it now. Over the net to Borchert. Quinn blocked by Shannon Stamp. And number 15 from the middle, proving to be stout. Point for Concordia. Cougs up by 2. Stamp's been bothered by a right knee issue this season, but just have to watch her reps in practice is what Coach Campbell told us. And now on the outside, Brock. Concordia now, it's Henline. The ball goes out of bounds. Concordia wins it. And now Alexa Lomentini back for the serve. Lomentini, a St. Louis native. Wonder if she watched the Cardinals game earlier today. Cardinals and Braves in the NLDS in the baseball playoffs. As MSOE picks that one up, and a couple subs coming now for the Raiders. It'll be Megan Brock alongside Amanda Yackley. Brock making up the two-headed Brock monster. The Brock sisters on this MSOE roster. Megan Jr. and Grace, just a freshman. Here's Megan on the outside. Ball goes out of bounds, and MSOE wins the point. 12-11 now the score in favor of Concordia. So Megan came here a couple of years ago. She was heavily recruited by Tom Wood. And Tom grew awfully close with Megan and her family. And he said once during a visit, he kind of jokingly inquired about her younger sister, Grace, and said, oh, does she have any interest in being an engineer, coming to MSOE? Wow. Amanda Yackley, the setter, laying out to pick up that point. We're all tied up. So Coach Wood inquired, does she have any interest? And the family was like, yeah. She wants to be an engineer, and she's visiting soon. And he was like, oh, well, that's good to know. Flash forward a year, and she's on his roster. Shannon Stamp helps Concordia jump back out in front. And now Spitelli into the game. So he's got both Brock sisters. Grace, the freshman, is a setter, whereas Megan, an outside hitter. Coach Wood said Grace, she's adjusting to the new tempo, that high school to college leap. But adjusting very well as her sister Megan powers it from the outside. The response from Concordia coming with Spitelli, and she comes up fancy. A nice kill for Julia Spitelli, and a 14-12 lead for Concordia. Henline back to serve again. Team leader in aces and digs. Here's Borchert. Nice little touch, but a bit outside on that one. Now 15-12 the score. Here at Geiseman Gymnasium on a fall Friday. Here in October. Sam Brief with you, along for the ride. Appreciate you joining me. Concordia up 1-0, and that one hit a speaker. Stamp tried to kick it. One of the black speakers up top got nicked by the ball, and Milwaukee wins the point. The first set, it was all Concordia, 25-12, but the second set, MSOE already with more points than they got in set number one, and Shannon Stamp shuts it down from the outside, the middle blocker, with a big point for Concordia as Jaylen Johnson checks in. You see number 17 there on the outside. And there's Stamp. A few bounces of the ball and the serve. These two teams ping-ponging it back and forth. Wallach trying for the kill. Up front at the net, Borchert blocked. Concordia wins it. 17-13 Cougars looking to take a 2-0 lead. It'll be Shannon Stamp again, who's been a force to be reckoned with tonight. Johnson up by the net, wins it for Concordia. Jaylen Johnson, the fantastic senior from the mountains up in Aurora, Colorado, makes it 18-13 Concordia, and Darren LaBelle calls a timeout for MSOE. Concordia up by 5 after winning the first set by 13. And Jaylen Johnson in her senior season, if there's any word you would associate with Jaylen, it's power. Johnson, the fantastic attacker, as you get a look at this last point here that Concordia took to make it 18-13. That's power from Shannon Stamp on the outside. And Shannon, the middle blocker, junior in her third season with this program, much like her senior counterpart, offers a lot of power from the outside. And a great look at that instant replay by our CSN crew. Out of the timeout now, it's the person you just saw. And how about those dance moves behind Shannon Stamp? I could do better than that. What do you call that? A hopscotch move? Dance moves on a Friday night. Spitelli with a great kill. She's on fire tonight. How about Julia Spitelli, who entered the night third on the team with just a touch over 100 kills. She has been absolutely dominant with 8 of them now on the evening. Stamp serves. Lee attacks. And now it's Fields powering it outside. Concordia does not pick up the point. That nicked the line, and MSOE makes it 19-14. On the serve, it's Becca Smith, the Alaska native. Gives it to her fellow libero, Julia Beers, on the outside. Now Spatelli comes up with kill number 9. How about Julia Spatelli? Number 20 from the outside, and now it's Tori Steele, the southpaw, wearing 27 into the game as Kelly Guti serves. Fields blocked. Point Concordia. That time it was Tori Steele up in front. A 21-14 lead for the Cougs. Guti floats it. And a service ace. Kelly Guti with her 4th ace of the night. 22-14 Concordia. Timeout Raiders as Darren LaBelle wants to chat with his girls. This MSOE team, so young. You look up and down their roster. Freshman, sophomore, freshman. They've got 3 upperclassmen on the whole roster. And Coach Tom Wood, he laughed about it. He said it's kind of a byproduct of when he started at MSOE 5 years ago. And of course there's challenges. It's a super young team, so there are some mistakes that you're going to have with a team like that you just might not have with an older team. And for him and his staff, it just means patience. A little more guidance than usual. But the goal for Tom Wood is to scale back a bit on that guidance. He said what he wants is just to sit back and do nothing. He wants his team to be self-sufficient and just do. And he knows as this young group gets older, you'll get that more and more. But right now, a lot of mistakes for this young team that likes to play aggressively. Coach Wood, Coach LaBelle, they believe in an aggressive play style. They say, make the mistakes, we'll fix the mistakes, but just be aggressive. Try everything. Back in action now, Jennifer Livesay in the game for Concordia, number 21 in the rec specs on the left side, checking in for the first time. She comes up with a nice dig, steal from the outside, picks up a point for the Cougars. A 9-point lead here in the second set. How about Jennifer Livesay, the junior out of Medina, Illinois, coming in and making an instant impact, the rec spectacled number 21. Concordia clamping down on a 2-0 lead. If they can pick up the last 2 points of set number 2. That one lazily hit into the net. Point 1 by MSOE. A couple subs here. We'll see Allie Laurent come into the game alongside Megan Brock on the right side. It's Laurent to serve. Dug out by Beers, it goes out of bounds over near us. MSOE within 7. This would be a clutch time for a run late in the second set. Let's see if they can depend on someone who's been miss-clutch. Number 1 for MSOE, Chloe Wallach. Becca Smith, the libero, gives it over to Fields. Nice dig by Livesay. Jaylen Johnson with a powerful crush. And Concordia 1 point away from a 2-0 lead. Courtney Luciano, the Plainfield, Illinois senior, checks in with Concordia needing just 1 point to head into the intermission with a 2-0 lead. They're not going to get it quite yet. Fields back to serve. Just a 7-point lead for Concordia. Natalia Fields, a few bounces, and the float serve. Guti sets. Livesay on the outside, blocked cleanly by the freshman Grace Brock. One of the Brock sisters getting the job done up front. The electrical engineering major makes it 6 points. Fields with the braids, serves it. Guti to Johnson, leave it up. MSOE falls behind as Jaylen Johnson, the senior, powers Concordia to a 2-0 lead as the second set is won by the Cougs, 25-18. We will head into the intermission with Concordia on top, 2-0. We're going to get another look here at that powerful slam to seal the deal. Jaylen Johnson, whose middle name might as well be Power, slamming it down. And Concordia up 2-0. We'll take a break here on the Cougar Sports Network. Back with the third set in just a moment. Back at it on a Freaky Friday night here at Concordia. Sam Brief alongside with you with our fantastic CSN crew, Ryan McGee, Alex Krinigan, and Neil O'Donnell with you for some Friday night volleyball. And the Concordia Cougars out in front of the MSOE Raiders, 2-0. It's been all Concordia so far. The first set, 25-12. Second set, 25-18. And individually, the story of the match so far, Julia Spitelli, 9 kills on the night. She's been a force to be reckoned with as Concordia, looking for its second straight win, seems to be well on its way. Julia Spitelli, the junior out of Schaumburg, got 200 kills in each of her first seasons here at Concordia. Just eclipsed the 100 mark this year. And she's going to keep climbing with a stellar performance tonight. Miriam Ward leading off the serve for MSOE. They're in red on the left side. Maroon, the color of choice for Concordia, on the right side. Henline with the attack. Fielded cleanly, though, on the other side by Lauren. Back and forth, these two teams go. MSOE fighting for life as Wallach sends it a bit outside. Point goes to Concordia, and the Cougs jump out to a 1-0 lead. Henline back to serve. The conference leader in aces for a team that does it so well. Borchert on the attack, fielded cleanly by Henline on the back row. Spitelli comes up with lucky number 10. Into double digits now, Julia Spitelli with the kill. 2-0 now the lead in the third set. Season high is 14 in the kills category for Spitelli. She did that a couple weeks ago against Simpson. She's at 10 right now. Some messy action at the net. Concordia looking to make it a 3-0 lead. Let's see if MSOE can negate it. Spitelli on the outside. Who else? 3-0 Cougars on top. Henline to serve again. That one floated right into the net. And MSOE picks up its first point of the third set. Amanda Yackley, the Kenosha native, back to serve. Pounds it a few times into the hardwood floor here at Geiseman Gym. Clean serve, but Spitelli looking for the kill. Not going to get it there. Ball goes into the net. Concordia wins the point. Shannon Stamp back for the serve. The middle blocker, whose attack percentage of nearly 300 ranks in the top 5 in the NACC. Borchert comes up with the kill. Quinn Borchert, 6-foot sophomore out of Lake Mills, Wisconsin. What her coach calls maybe the best middle blocker in D3 Wisconsin volleyball. She's been a force to be reckoned with in her second season after an injury-riddled freshman campaign. It's Brock now over her head, just skips over the net. Johnson, a touch. Wallach to Borchert. Smith sends it across. MSOE's been out of system for most of this point. And fittingly, Concordia comes up with the point. So Quinn Borchert, who's wearing number 4 on the left side in that red uniform, hands on her hips by the near sideline. She's in her second season with this MSOE program, and someone who Coach Wood says was living off of tape in her freshman season. Ankle injury bothered her and held her back, and she's broken out in a big way as a sophomore. Her team comes up with a point here thanks to Italia Fields on the outside. Borchert with over 150 kills, 7th in the conference, and her attack percentage of .322 ranks 2nd in the NACC. It's Brock, blocked by Johnson. Concordia wins it. 6-3 now the score. Concordia on top. And a sub here for the Cougs as Courtney Luciano checks in. 5'4" senior defensive specialist who sang Fields on the outside. How about Alyssa Henline coming up big? I almost said that Luciano sang the national anthem. It wasn't her. It was Caroline Gibbons who sang the national anthem before today's match, as she often does. Got a beautiful voice, much better than I could do. I sing the national anthem, all the windows break. Rising and getting it done that time, Megan Brock to make it 7-4. Allie Laurent checking in now for Darren LaBelle's Raiders. Laurent sends it across, and this one was MSOE all the way. Service ace for Allie Laurent. Her 29th of the season, ranking in the top 5 in the conference. And the most on her team, the nursing major, senior out of Kenosha, going for another chance. On the outside, Steele, little touch, and Tori Steele, the southpaw. feeling good on a nice little touch in front of the net. Concordia has opened up an 8-5 lead in the third set, looking for a clean sweep win. On the outside, Fields. Dug out by Beers. Stamp lobs it. Henline on the outside. Creates some confusion in front of the net. Out of system are the Raiders, but they respond nicely. Guti sets. Steele floats it across. The Raiders going back and forth with the Cougars right now. Dug out. Smith. Over to Ward. Now that's Beers, the libero, to Guti, the setter, to Stamp. And it's Shannon Stamp who finishes the job. 9-5 Concordia on top. This Concordia program making the postseason last year for the first time since 2008. Looking to build on it, and with a win tonight, they'd keep pace in the middle of the pack in the conference with a 2-2 record. MSOE wins the point to make it 9-6. The Cougars in action again tomorrow against Concordia, Wisconsin. Up north of the border for a noon tip-off. Little Saturday afternoon road match. MSOE comes up with the point. Miriam Ward, the 5'9 freshman, rising high and getting the job done at the net. 9-7 now our score. Let's see if Concordia can respond to this little MSOE run. Italia Fields serves, and the ball goes out. Deep into the corner, Concordia with the point. 10-7 now the score. And a sub here for Troy Campbell's team. It's Alexa Lomentini, the St. Louis native. Pounding the ball a few times. Sending it across. Here we go. Into the net. Point Concordia. 11-7. Troy Campbell's team going for back-to-back wins after they lost 6 in a row. All 3-0. A service ace here. Lomentini with her second service ace of the evening, and a timeout called by Darren LaBelle. Concordia up 12-7, trying to make it back-to-back wins here on a Friday night at Geiseman Gym. Sam Brief here with you for some Cougar volleyball. Really appreciate you joining me and hope you're having a wonderful Friday night with a great weekend in store. Now get another look here at a point for Concordia. Who else? Shannon Stamp gets it done from the middle. The junior middle blocker has been so fantastic. And she's forged quite a bond with her head coach, Troy Campbell, who was a middle blocker back in his playing days. Campbell played at Westville High School in Indiana. He was the MVP at the state tournaments in both 1991 and 1992, and then went on to play his college ball at Indiana, Purdue, Fort Wayne. So he was a middle blocker. So he's taken to mentoring his young middle blocker, Shannon Stamp, and you actually see him there in the top right corner having a chat with Stamp. And now in the top right corner, it's Jaylen Johnson getting jiggy with it on a Friday night. Concordia has been partying on and off. Sideline, on the court. It's been all Cougars tonight. Up 12-7 here in the third set. Henline on the outside, touches it over the net. Out of system are the Raiders, but Wallach gets it across. Guti to Stamp. Now it's Brock into the net. The freshman can't get it. And Concordia up 13-7. Shannon Stamp, the powerful middle blocker, was first team all-conference last year. Among middles, first in digs, aces, top 2 in blocks. She was a force to be reckoned with in her sophomore season. But that ball gets by her, and the point won by MSOE. Coach Campbell said last year it was almost overwhelming to see her beat out just about every other middle. She's been a rock for this team. Henline on the outside. It's dug out, though, by Laurent. Now Wallach, the freshman, looking to respond. It's blocked up front by Stamp, but the ball goes out of bounds. Point for MSOE, and it's 13-9. Back to serve, Miriam Ward. Her favorite movie is Bridesmaids. That's a good one. Don't let that one get lost in the shuffle as Shannon Stamp comes up with a kill. Bridesmaids, Kristen Wiig. Fantastic movie. She's got good taste, Miriam Ward, freshman out of Elkhorn, Wisconsin. And there's Alyssa Henline, another freshman, back for the serve, and she comes up pretty. The conference leader in service aces with another one. Concordia might be sniffing victory. 2 aces on the night for Henline. Borchert up front, blocked. Beers to Spitelli, into the net. MSOE wins it. Spitelli's quieted off, just returning to the game. 12 kills on the evening. Just 2 away from a season high, 14 right now. And the high mark for Julia. A dominant night so far for the powerful Cougars, who yield the point here to MSOE. An error. MSOE's hitting percentage tonight, under 100, just .062. They've made 19 attacking errors. This young team that's got just 3 upperclassmen playing aggressively as always, but with the aggression will come errors. Just like that one. Chloe Wallach, the freshman, trying to rise high and power it home, but just misses outside, and now a 16-11 Concordia lead. Shannon Stamp back for the serve. Stamp, Johnson, and Spitelli all in the game for Concordia, but Stamp with a rare service error. MSOE picks up a point. 16-12 now our score here in the third set at Geiseman Gym on the beautiful campus of Concordia here in River Forest, Illinois. Back-to-back wins for MSOE. An ace. Chloe Wallach sporting the number 1 jersey. Sharp black and red kit for the visiting Raiders. Spitelli, kill number 13. Lucky number 13. And a 4-point lead here in the third set. The purple bandana lefty Tori Steele into the game, replacing Lomantini. And back to serve Guti, who's been phenomenal tonight as a setter. It was a storyline to watch coming in was how Guti played, because Campbell chose to challenge her tonight, moving his alignment from a 6-2 offensive attack to the 5-1 system, which means employing 1 setter as opposed to the normal 2. With Guti standing as the 1 setter, and boy, has she performed admirably tonight. Concordia wins a point to make it a 5-point lead. Concordia had struggled in the assist game all season since the exit of Nikki Crowley, who left to graduation after last year. Fantastic setter here in Concordia, who surrenders a point to MSOE. Guti tonight, just 1 error. She's made 25 assists. Going for the kick, Amanda Yackley. Soccer field's not far down the road. Point Concordia. So Guti with the 25 assists tonight. Her season high, 26. We'll see if she can get that down the stretch. Concordia up by 5. Lee blocked at the net by Johnson. That one out of the reach of Luciano. Just a 4-point lead for Concordia now. In clutch situations, it's been Chloe Wallach who MSOE has turned to. She's in the game right now. On the outside, Henline, a powerful attack, but she misses in the back right corner. And now MSOE creeps to within 3. 19-16 the score. Or check that, 20-15. That point went to CUC. Julia Beers back to serve. The libero in that bright yellow jersey. Floats it across. Dug out by Wallach. On the outside, the freshman block. Wins the point. Tori Steele bounced off her left hand and out of bounds. MSOE back to within 4. And it's Yackley back to serve. Kenosha native, one of many up and down the roster. And a service ace. MSOE within 3. Looking to avoid a shutout loss after back-to-back wins, including a shutout win just Wednesday against Rockford. Henline across the net. Wallach going for the kill. Miss clutch. Comes up with a powerful kill. And the Raiders creep to within 2. Timeout, Troy Campbell. He wants to regroup his team. A little run here for MSOE, and Chloe Wallach finishing it up with a kill. CUC was on top 19-14. But 4 of the last 5 points have gone the Raiders' way, and now it's just a 20-18 score with time ticking down on the Raiders. Hope you're having a great Friday night, everyone. Appreciate you joining me for some Friday night volleyball. Sam Brief here in Geiseman Gymnasium. The Cougars coming in 7-12, the Raiders 7-11. But the all-important conference record with the Concordia win for both teams, that conference record would be 2-2, staying in the middle of the pack. Top 6 in the NACC make the postseason tournament, which Concordia did last year for the first time since 2008. Natalia Fields to serve, sends it left to right. Let's see how the Cougars respond after the timeout. Pretty nicely. Alyssa Henline comes up pretty. And Concordia 4 points away from victory. It's been a lightning quick match so far. The first 2 points. First 2 sets taking 20 minutes each. Momentini serves it the other way. Fields. On the outside, here's Henline going for the kill, but dug out by Fields, who now goes for the kill herself. Nice little touch spot by Natalia Fields. MSOE back to within 2. 21-19 now. Our new score. Ward on the serve. Stamp the other way. Shannon Stamp from the outside. She gets it done, and it's a 3-point lead in the third set. Spitelli back in the game. Number 20 checks in. Julia's been awesome tonight, tying a season high with 14 kills. And a timeout called here by Darren LaBelle, with his team's back up against the wall. Here on the Cougar Sports Network, Sam Brief with our fantastic CSN crew at Geiseman Gymnasium. The first of 2 weekend contests for the Cougars, one of which, of course, here tonight against MSOE, and then tomorrow, quick turnaround, noon. First serve, tomorrow against Concordia, Wisconsin. This season, Julia Spitelli has risen to the occasion. And tonight, that narrative is continued. That kill for Spitelli was number 14, which matched her season high. Spitelli, the 6-foot junior out of Schaumburg, Illinois. Second on the team in kills last year. She's got 200 plus in all of her seasons with this Cougar program. And tonight she's put the team on her back. Let's see if the freshman Alyssa Henline can close it out. A serving magician. Henline with her team up by 3, needing just 3 points to wrap up a 3-0 win. Since 2004, Concordia 6-2 at home against MSOE. And Tom Wood, the usual MSOE coach who's on paternity leave right now, said that this Cougar program, it's one he really looks up to. He pointed to the job that Troy Campbell's done with Concordia. He said, they're a team we strive to be like, a team that everyone is a little bit scared to play. Right now, a breakage in the action. The officials conferencing at the scorer's table. Seems to be some confusion. And the team's taking advantage. A little Cotton Eye Joe blaring on the loudspeaker here at Geiseman. On one side, Quinn Borchert getting down and dirty. And looking over at the Concordia sideline, it's a party. It's been a party on the court tonight. 25-12, 25-18, now 22-19. The Cougars lost 6 matches in a row, and since then they have yet to lose a single set. Wallach on the outside. Dug out by Beers. At the net, Stamp pokes it outside, point to MSOE. 22-20 now. The veteran outside hitter Megan Brock checks in, replacing her sister Grace. Back to serve, Amanda Yackley. Spitelli for the kill. There's number 15 for Julia Spitelli. 3-point lead here in the third set. And Jaylen Johnson checks in for Julia Beers. It's Shannon Stamp back for the serve. How about Kelly Guti tonight? As we've got an injury timeout right now. Quinn Borchert, whose freshman season was plagued with a right ankle injury. Looks like the training staff has taken a look at her right ankle foot area. She's got those white and red Nike shoes, as do the rest of the Raiders. Great to see Borchert standing up, looking very gimpy on that right foot. Last year, she lived off tape, in the words of her head coach. Looking very ginger right now. Getting some encouragement. She's going to stay in the game. How about the Raiders spirit for Quinn Borchert, who's now all smiles. A quick turn from hardly being able to walk to jumping up and down to going, woo, let's party. Quinn Borchert. How about it? Staying in the game. Certainly hope that one doesn't hurt too much in the morning. Service ace, Megan Brock and Concordia 1 point away from the victory. Shannon Stamp back for the serve. Let's see if Concordia can finish this one out. Wallach rising, blocked at the net. It's Wallach again, the freshman, but it's dug out by Lomentini. Jaylen Johnson, the senior, going for the kill, but MSOE responds. Brock across, great dig by Alyssa Henline, and Johnson sends it out of play. MSOE stays alive, 24-21 now. Shannon Stamp checking out. Kelly Guti checks in, the setter, who's got a career-high 30 assists tonight. Guti sets. Spitelli. gets the win for Concordia. A clean sweep for the Cougars. On the back of their junior, Julia Spitelli, Concordia with a clean sweep win on a Friday night here at Geiseman Gym. Over the last 2 weeks, Concordia lost 6 matches in a row. Since then, they haven't lost even a single set. And here's the final point that finished off victory for the Cougars. The story of the night was Julia Spitelli with the season high 15 kills. Kelly Guti gets the job done with 30 assists. And the Cougars win this 25-12, 25-18, and 25-21. We know the service aces are something that this team is just phenomenal in. How about 9 of them tonight for Concordia? As you see Troy Campbell gathering his team right now. Just too many errors tonight on the flip side for MSOE. A young team that made 20 errors tonight on the attack. Again, just 3 upperclassmen up and down that roster. And MSOE now 7-12 on the season. Their record drops to 2-2 in conference play. Concordia, 8-12 on the season, also 2-2 in conference play. And now they are winners of back-to-back matches. In a few moments, we'll hear from head coach Troy Campbell after his team's 2nd straight win. And what a dominant performance tonight for the Cougars. We will take a quick pause here on the Cougar Sports Network. On the other side, you'll hear from the lead man, Troy Campbell, will join us up here in the broadcast booth. But right now, a quick pause. We'll be right back with the coach. Welcome back to Geiseman Gym, wrapping up a clean sweep 3-0 win for the Cougars. Sam Brief alongside 6th-year Concordia head coach Troy Campbell. And coach, over the last couple weeks, your team had lost 6 matches in a row. Since then, you haven't lost a single set. What has been the turning point for your team?
Well, I just think that, we're starting to get some stuff figured out as far as the lineup is concerned and the energy that we have to consistently have. It was just overwhelming today for MSOE as far as what we brought forward. It wasn't necessarily a difference in play for us. I think we just had energy in transition, and we had energy in our communication to each other. There was only a little lull there in the 3rd game when I called the timeout, and then they picked it right back up and finished the game. So I was really proud of what we were able to accomplish.
You moved from the 6-2 to the 5-1 offensive set for this match, and you told me before the match that you were going to rely heavily on Kelly Guti, and boy, did she step up, a career high in assists.
Yeah, no doubt. I mean, she did fantastic, and you never know when you put a kid into a certain situation how she's going to react mentally, but she really stepped up and did an awesome job of putting our attackers in positions where they can be successful, and the hitting percentage shows that. Her stat sheet shows that. So I was really satisfied with the 5-1. I mean, we were prepared to change it up or make moves, but she made it impossible for us to do anything. She served great, she dug balls, she made good decisions. You can't ask for more than that.
Julia Spitelli really solid tonight, a season high in kills for her with 15, and of course fitting that she finished it off. What can you say about her performance tonight, Coach?
Well, I'll tell you, Julie's a special player. She's the person that we kind of earmarked for this year to kind of have a breakout season in her junior year. And not that she wasn't great her first 2 years, because she was. But, now we're, taking her off of the right side, and we're putting her on the in the middle and on the left, and she's just as successful because that's what she did her first 2 years anyway. So a great adjustment from her this week, and you could get down about moving positions, but she certainly didn't, and it showed.
You got a quick turnaround for tomorrow. You got another match in a couple hours. Noon tomorrow against Concordia. Time to rest up, and Cougars will be back in action tomorrow against Concordia, Wisconsin. Coach Troy Campbell, thank you so much for joining me here on CSN. Appreciate it. And have a great rest of your night, Coach.
Thanks, Mark.
So wrapping up this win for Concordia, 25-12 in the first set, in which service aces were the name of the game, 5 for them in that first set. And Concordia really set the tone early on, 25-18 in the second set and 25-21 in the third set. Julie Spitelli with her season high in kills. Spitelli finishing the day with 15 of them on the night, or check that, 16 of them on the night. The last one, the eventual match-winning kill for Julie. And Kelly Guti with a career high 31 assists. You heard Coach Campbell talk about the move from the 6-2 to the 5-1, which means one setter, which means the emphasis was all on Kelly. He was counting on her. And Guti, the junior out of Edmonds, Washington, certainly delivered. On the flip side for MSOE, some of their top performers tonight. You had Atalia Fields with 9 kills pacing the way. Chloe Wallach not far behind. 6 kills for her, and the setter, Allie Laurent, coming up with 11 assists. With the win, Concordia moves to 8-12 on the year, 2-2 in the NACC. And the Raiders of MSOE, 7-12 now, also with a 2-2 conference record. Concordia back at it tomorrow against Concordia, Wisconsin. They will head north of the Illinois-Wisconsin border. Tomorrow, 12 o'clock first serve, and then they're back home against Benedictine on Tuesday right here at Geiseman Gym, and you can hear that right here on the Cougar Sports Network. For MSOE, they will hit the road Tuesday against Dominican, and then they're back home up in Milwaukee against Edgewood on Friday. So that'll wrap it up. A 3-0 clean sweep win for the Cougars, who've rebounded from a 6-match losing streak with back-to-back resounding victories. So signing off here from Geiseman Gym, and for the entire crew, camera technician Ryan McGee, a fantastic lacrosse player here at Concordia. I'm surrounded by athletes. We've got a lacrosse player running the camera, and our producers tonight, Neil O'Donnell from the basketball team and Alex Kernigan from the baseball team. Another one of our producers tonight here on CSN. I'm Sam Brief signing off from Geiseman Gym. Hope you have a fantastic, safe rest of your Friday night and a wonderful weekend as it turns to fall here in Chicago. 3-0 win for Concordia tonight. Back at it from Geiseman on Tuesday. Have a great rest of your Friday, folks. Adios.